seen this person on YouTube. I don't know how many times. I've watched every video. I've seen the cinnamon challenge. I've seen the push-up bra. I've even seen her I think she got frozen. Was it cryo? I think it was. How are you doing today, Miss GloZell?
Hello, this GloZell. Is you okay? Is you good? Because I want to know. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. I am doing so good. And just so you know, my name is Elise. Because I know some people, I've been called Lies. I've been called
Elise. Yes. Well, I was just about to say, thank you for getting my name right, because there's a capital in the middle. No one ever, I think this is probably the first time it's ever been right.
Seriously?
Yes. So I was just about to talk about my name and you talked about yours. So yes, Elise.
Oh, okay. That's Elise. We both know. We know. We go through it.
Yes.
We go through it. But I want to ask you, because we know GloZell. However, that's not all of who you are. That's a part of who you are.
I love your accent. That's a part.
Yes. See, you can hear it. You can hear it. It's a part of who you are, but it's not who you are. Tell us, how did Lynette Green from Orlando help birth a job title, YouTuber? Like, how did you do that? You helped create a whole lane, a genre of people. How did you decide to do this?
Well, what had happened was, it's like when you blazing the trail, you don't know you blazing the trail. You just like trying to live, trying to figure out, do your creative things. And then you look back and then people like, oh, okay. There's people growing up now that say, I'm going to be a YouTuber. That did not exist, like people didn't even have computers in their homes readily when I started. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned on a typewriter, like we had typing class. Like I'm that old, you know what I'm saying? So, this is it. It was so new and so crazy. And then people thought like, that's not a real job. Like what you doing, you just acting a fool. But people didn't mind people doing theater for free but if you're doing like something on the internet and then people didn't understand, it's like, can you stop? You embarrassing the family. That's just so stupid. You just acting dumb. Like, oh, you gonna go see the president? Oh, she's so smart. I know her way back then. She was always crazy. Oh, look at the picture of us. We in the bathtub together. So you have to ride something until it switched. Cause like I was hearing, in my mind, like this is the right thing to do, even though you didn't have anybody before you to show you that this was the right thing to do, or this is a path that's going to work. You're relying only on yourself.
So were you a comedian though? Like did you have that comedic background and then you were like, hey, I'm gonna make parodies, I'm gonna do this, and we're doing stand-up, or you were just funny your whole life?
I was funny my whole life, but goofy kind of funny. Like I do stand up and people ha ha he he, but like to tear the house down in a comedy club late night, they put me first, like let GloZell go first. She here on time. I show up on time.
So you did do comedy before you started making videos.
Yes, and I still do comedy now, but now it's my own audience. Like I don't. So I do my own thing, and that's great because I can fill up the comedy club by myself, and I can do it at 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon when my audience can show up and not mess up with the nighttime. Where like I feel like real comedians, like yo, I wish this mother would, and I'm like, and I was in church, and this was really funny, It's different. It's just like
so that's interesting that you actually were a comedian. And you was like, well, I'm a comedian, but I don't know if that's my.
That was not my lane. No, late night was not my thing, and so when YouTube came around, it's funny because I want to tell people like if something's not working, it might be a reason. Like stand-up wasn't working for me, but when YouTube came and the internet, I'm like, okay, this is it. I can put up my crazy ideas here, my skits here that I'm thinking of, because it didn't work at stand-up, just it didn't work at the late night, but I could put my ideas here, and then the audience came there. They just like, okay, whatever you want to do on the internet, there's somebody that'll watch you do it. Like I like to knit in blue. Well, you know what? There's a fan base. So like there was a whole world. Like we like this goofy middle-aged Black woman. Who knew? The Showtime and Apollo didn't. I got booed there, but but the whole time I'm thinking like I'm funny. I can't get. you know, what was my vehicle? It wasn't this traditional vehicle, and it wasn't supposed to be that way for me. You know,
you were at the Apollo and you was doing a comedy set and you said you got booed?
I got booed. I was up on stage with Tiffany, let's see, Haddish. Let's go with that. Haddish, because I know some people who are last name is Haddish and it's spelled the same way. So Haddish, and I get it mixed up. And she beat me, you know, and I was like, she beat me. That's okay because I'm gonna be famous and she won't. You know, I got that wrong.
You're both famous though. Hey,
I got that. So I just got it really wrong. And she won the $25, and it still bothers me. Like I wanted that $25.
You gotta meet her though. Y'all gotta connect about that.
I love her. No, she's great. You know, every time I see her, I'm like, she won. She won. You know, and she's still winning. So that's great.
Yeah, but y'all both famous though. But
thank you. I was like that. You know, stand up. Just really, it just, you know, that setup and going. I'm more like a physical, like a Jim Carrey, like a people say Lucille Ball. I'm trying to think of somebody else who just like the setup is all physical and like, oh, you're falling and you do it like I'm more like that. And
okay. That like Chris Farley, like because he was very much in his physical. Okay, got you.
I'm more like that as opposed to a stand-up comic, a comedian, but a stand-up comic, and that I'm more, you know, like if you can't see me, then I don't know if you laughing because it's like, what? Because I'm very.
I could respect that, but when you put up that first video, because I know you said your family was like, what is you doing?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I don't know what you're doing.
But and stop it. Not only I don't know what you're doing, would you please stop? You're embarrassing me. People are coming up to me like, isn't that your niece? Isn't that your cousin? Don't you know her? No, I tell people, no, I don't know you. Okay, thanks. Thanks, auntie.
Ain't that some craziness? But once you make it and they think you got a little money, then everybody be like, well, see,
you
what
know,
happened was...
She always been crazy. You know,
I helped her. I was in the back. You ain't see me. I was in the back. I had the
camera. That joke is based on me. Yeah, I did talk about them. So there you go. I can take that.
What, did you ever think you would have over 800 like when you posted that first video?
No, never. I thought maybe somebody, you know, Oprah or Steven Spielberg or somebody see me and you know, and be like, oh, you know, Tyler Perry, somebody like, we'll put her in this something. I didn't realize that this would be the vehicle. It took me a long time because I kind of kept feeling like, well, somebody see it. And I didn't realize that was it. This was the new television. This is the new radio. This is the new thing. And it's here to stay. And that was great.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people thought it was going to be like a little trend and it was going to die out, but it has expanded. Now, I know at your highest level, you had 800, what's that, $1 per view? So you got 800 million in the bank.
You think you're funny. Was it Lies? Is that your name?
Yeah.
Okay. So, millions have gone through my bank account. And when I say go, you know, like gone, that's an action word. Like it's gone. It is gone. Because even though I feel like I'm older, you know, when you get some money, you're just like, I'm gonna get a Mercedes in this color, and I'm gonna live there. I need this gated community, but then nobody can see me in the gated community, so I gotta have something else to ride around so you can see me as I go to my gated community. And you know, like you just lose your mind.
Did YouTube help? But YouTube didn't do y'all the same way. I would have thought in the beginning that YouTube didn't take care of y'all the way that they. Well, YouTube still got its issues, but I feel like it's gotten better.
Has it got? Well, I'm like broke, so I don't know who it helped out. Like they could tell me something, because Tupac said it best. He said, "F the fame, give me the money." Yeah, I'm just saying he is a philosopher of my life right now, because I'm just like, thank you for knowing me. Cash out GloZell Green. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There you go. You can put it, if you want to put it on the thing, you put a Cash App. You can always change your name. Put the Cash App in there. Do it all.
Don't sign Cash App. That's GloZell Green. You find me. It's okay.
You know what's funny is, like, I know you said that you don't think a lot has changed with YouTube, but it seems like they have way more smart, because that's why everybody jumped on the bandwagon. Everybody was like,
changed. It's changed from people going like, don't do that, that's stupid and dumb, to how can I do that? Right. I used to beg comedians. I'm like, look, you don't have to go out late at night, you know? But then, like, once I put my set out there, then everybody knows my set. I'm like, you can't come up with something different for 3-5 minutes, like several times. So that's where
because you got the secret sauce. So if we had a Big Mac, you would have the secret sauce to YouTube.
But because I wasn't happy where I was, like I wasn't the stand-up person. Usually, like the only one reason why I went into stand-up is because I wanted to do sitcoms, comedy, television. That's what I always wanted to do. That's what I was watching. And then all of a sudden there was a shift where comedians were getting shows based off what they were talking about. So here comes Ellen and Jerry Seinfeld, and you've got Bernie Mac. You've got all these people who were stand-up comics, who are Steve Harvey, who are now having shows, comedy shows. And I'm like, oh, that's what I have to do. Ray Romano. It was all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, I got to do stand-up so people can, and then I'll talk about my family, my life, and then that's how you get a show. But I never was interested in being by myself, standing on stage, like my nerves were shot. I'm like, oh, I felt like I'm not really a true, like, to do this. My goodness gracious. They're like, how you doing? I'm like, my nerves. But once I get out there, I'm cool. But leading up to that, I'm like, I'm dying. And where other people can be like, hey, no, okay, it's my time to go. Let me go. Me, I'm praying.
You can't tell though, because you got a big personality where you wouldn't know that. But you can wink your eyes 3 times. Just let us know, what is the algorithm that we need to be do it in Morse code. We'll get it.
For YouTube?
Yeah, wait to ask for the algorithm.
It changes all the time. That was the issue, is that it's like I literally will go in and have meetings, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't even understand what they're saying. Everybody's getting younger. You're going in, everybody is changing. And what I also wanted to say something about the internet is that they say that it doesn't go away, but different pockets go away. Because all of a sudden, like, here comes Vine. Vine was hot. Vine was super duper duper hot. And just as quick as it was here and making stars and making money, is gone. And a lot of those people couldn't parlay onto YouTube or other things. Some people were Periscope stars. I was like, oh, a Periscope star, and then that's gone. I don't even know,
it's closing down. Periscope is closing. In 2021, it won't even exist. So would you say that there's a difference? So now the big ones, I would say TikTok,
definitely. But but even TikTok was Musically. Musically was big, and then here comes TikTok. I'm like, oh, that's just the same as Musically. And then they merged, and then you're like, whoa, TikTok. So, you get all these things. I'm like, Instagram, I don't understand. I'm just going to put pictures. What's the difference between this and Facebook? And, my mama now. Okay, yeah.
You don't know the difference between Facebook and Instagram. Instagram,
on it. Yay!
Instagram is the Facebook for people who can't write. So they go, to Instagram. That's the levels. But the funniest thing is that it's interesting to me. Are YouTubers, because I always wanted to know that, or do YouTubers look at the Instagram models or the Insta stars differently than they like, oh no, they ain't like us?
Yes, because you have your own little world, and then when it lasts, you're like, oh, I better get in there, because like, I'm the queen of YouTube, and then here comes Instagram, like, and I'm like, can you subscribe? Like, you starting all over from the bottom. Like, okay, I've got 1 million on Instagram, and here comes Snapchat.
And OnlyFans.
And then here comes, TikTok, and then that's really has some staying power. Mm-hmm. But, it's just really crazy because, like, Vine was huge. So TikTok is huge, too. So, and meanwhile, YouTube is still here. So it's a potluck, and there's always some. Now it's like, are you on Clubhouse? Are you in Club?
Yeah, I got an Android. Okay.
See, you can't. You not. They gonna come up with their own club. So
the knockoff version.
Everything is changing. I do have to make sure that I mention my show, the GloZell Show, which you can find on millionstories.com, and also on my channel. I'm still there on my channel. Feel free to also cash out me. I am not ashamed of it. And so I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and of course YouTube.
Yeah, because she everywhere. She like red hot. You can put on anything. She everywhere. She everywhere. But I remember. So I wanted, because you were talking about your show. So the GloZell Show is on $1 Million Stories, which is interesting to me because it's a financial network, but it tells stories in a way that is entertaining and that you actually understand it. People like just regular people like me, like, oh, that makes sense. I get you. I got you. Richard Sherman telling me I should save my money. Like,
right. And sometimes it's things that you know, and you just need to hear it in a different way. I used to say that about, like churches, one book. Well, how many times we gotta go? It's the same book that you're talking about. But you need to, like, this is the day that you can hear something. So when you watch A Million Stories, sometimes it's like, save your money. My mom tell me to save my money all the time. I ain't listening to her.
Right. But you're listening to you and Richard Sherman.
I'm gonna listen to, hey, Richard, what's up? And maybe somebody listen to me like, that's what not to do. This is the ghost of financial, future. You better not do that, so let me pay attention. So sometimes, it's broken down in ways that there's a story, there's a show that can get to you. And of course, I'm on Faceplant on millionstories.com, and I'm also the GloZell Show. So
that first episode, though, I'm going to tell you, it hit me because we watched all these Instagram models, YouTubers, they walking around like they balling. Like we thinking everybody is just balling out of control. Do you think that there should be more of a disclosure? Because when you said that you were outside of somebody else's house.
Vanity Fair now. Vanity Fair.
That was like, say what now?
Vanity Fair. That wasn't like, your local Gazette.
Right.
Just saying, I wasn't on just like the local news. So.
No, that's the real deal right there.
I'm talking a big time magazine, and I'm like, oh Lord, these people coming home. Can you take these pictures and leave, please? Because I'm on my plane. It was like, oh, these people are Vietnamese.
They wasn't even black.
Oh, they just be like,
you could at least fake that if they was like, that's my cousin. Oh my God.
Child, I was like, I know they come home at this time. I got to get out of this yard. Do you understand? These people are coming home with their children, and they're gonna be like,
who is this lady? Or no, they're gonna be like, it's GloZell.
So I was terrified. I was like, oh my goodness.
Do you think there should be more disclosure though because a lot of YouTubers think you get on here, you get some views, boom, you rip.
I don't know if that would even stop anybody, but I think that's the draw that you're pretending, or you are spending all your money, like it's just. I don't think that they would. It would be great if they did. Like, look, this video, I'm in the red. It cost me too much to make, and it's always those big videos. I got all this, and you see 17,000 views when you thought you was gonna get 17 million views, and you don't spend all this money on a video that didn't make any money.
Wow.
So like they still want their money. Like I went to my leasing office with my Vanity Fair.
The cover, is this enough?
Does this it didn't cover a week? Like they didn't care. They didn't. I don't know about your landlord. My landlord did not care because he's like, "Where are you? This is not even the building." I'm like, "You got me. A show standing in somebody else's house."
Like you're not gonna give me your rent. You gonna give me this cover, and you're not even marketing my product.
You're not advertising. Okay, so millionstories.com. They'll get you straight.
Yeah, and you also interviewed Obama.
Yes.
You interviewed the president.
Yes.
Now, I don't know about all the extra, after and everything, but the president in 2015.
Yes.
What was that like? Like, I mean, I would imagine. No, you met a lot of big people though.
But when I went to the White House, and it's still even crazy to say, it was a part of me that finally felt justified because so many people didn't understand YouTube, and I had a fan base that was younger, but like the people of my age or my mom's, the other family members that didn't understand what I was saying, like nothing made sense until like, oh, do you Obama? Like Obama? Like the black? like, yes, you know, that's when it was like, oh, well, let me pay attention to, you know, and my audience grew. Like, I had young white kids. That's like, I couldn't go to Beverly Hills, you know, but I could go to Compton. Nobody cared, you know. I could go to Inglewood here. Nobody cared, you know. But I was going through the TSA. Is it TSA? Yeah. To Washington. And on the way back, girl, I saw you in the credit. They winding me up. I'm like, oh, I saw you patting me down, you know, just to spend more time. I'm like, I'm being accosted here, you know. And so it was completely different. And then you're in the airport and they're showing the interview, and you're standing there, and people are like,
wow.
You like, people who did not watch the internet and didn't see me or know me from the internet, all of a sudden knew me like that. So I thank you. Let's meet again. Let's meet up again. Former President Barack Obama.
He's free now.
You're retired, so you know you write books and when Netflix shows, you know.
Yeah, and you wrote a book too. So speaking of books, you wrote one.
Yes. Is You Okay? And it is. I think you can still get it on Amazon. So yes, and if you can't find it on Amazon, cash out me. I'm just saying that's a real thing. So yes, so I'm an author, and I'm still doing my crazy YouTube videos. I'm there, and I'm so excited with the GloZell Show. And people are like, you keeping it real? I'm like, I had no other choice. You know, it doesn't matter when you're going through divorce and somebody like you were like, I was at rock bottom. Just seemed like all I could do was talk. I felt like it couldn't get any worse when like Vanity Fair and the eviction notice come at the same time. Who am I faking that? What?
Right. Right. But did that push you into really becoming more successful? Because I know in your book, you really talk about your relationship. And I would imagine that would push you just that much harder to want to be successful.
Well, yes. One, out of spite, you know, revenge is great. Like, I want you to see me everywhere. Everywhere you go seize my face. On the billboards, when you getting your gas, they'll be like, hey, you know, in the little, I'm saying everywhere. And then after you get over that, you know, that's petty. You know? It's like
little petty's okay.
Just a little bit of pettiness. Then you're like, okay, for real, like I need to survive. First, you know, it's like just kind of what to do, you know, like you feel like you made it, and now I'm tired. I already started older. Now I got to start all over again, you know, and then the pettiness and then the anger. Now I'm like, okay, I'm cool. It's good. Other people have been here. As I'm telling my story, other folks are like, I'm in this situation because there was a time this year. Was it this year? I was asking my celebrity friends, you know, like I need a place to stay. You know, my daughter and I, you know, if it was just me, I wouldn't ask, you know, because I pushed past embarrassment. I needed a place to stay. And then I thought, maybe that'll be a reality show, like me living with so-and-so. Like, that's crazy, because I'm telling you, I've asked some of the people, you were like, really? I would have been interested to see you living with them. But I found out, one, people rent out their mansions, or two, they don't own them.
Oh.
Three, they got other people living in, renting out stuff. You know, or you don't want to see how they really living. You know, so I also realized that, hey, I'm not in the boat by myself. Or another one, I'm like, you got this giant place, you won't even see me, you won't even see us. You know, like, well, I got it on sale. You know, I'm putting it up for sale. Like, you know, you can't be in here when I'm trying to sell it. You know, like I don't need this place, and I can't afford it anymore. I'm like, so there's a lot of faking people and people who don't talk to you. You know, there's a few people who remain, you know, like, hey, it's okay, or here, I'll give you a little something. I don't know a place you can stay, blah, 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 blah. And there's so many But as far as celebrities, I would like to say the people who did not turn away from Yvette Nicole Brown.
For real?
Okay. Yes. Carney Wilson from Wilson Phillips, amazing.
Okay.
Can you? I'm only saying her last name, Robinson Pete. Why am I not?
Holly
Robinson Pete.
I don't know her, but she seemed dope.
Shanice and Flex, both of them. Shanice
Okay.
And Flex, and I'm just like, yeah, so that is so. I mean, I just it motivates me because I want to pay them back, you know, for not turning their back on me. You're just like, I'm just checking in, you know, just want to know if you're okay. I'm like, well, you know, I'm not on the tent yet, you know, because I was trying to like, where's this nice spot on the street where, you know, at least I get some visibility. Somebody gonna be like, that goes in, let me take a picture, you know. So I was like, that's where I'm going, you know. But then Million Stories
that's
came.
Good to see though. So I mean that people actually still reached out to you. Good people reached out, because everybody not like that.
Right. And I have some really good friends, and then I have people who, you know, just kind of went away. And then you got a show, they try to come back, you know. I'm like,
sit all the way, have several seats, a whole stadium full, because you ain't coming back over here.
Exactly.
So you said you reached out to Million Stories, or did they say, hey, you doing something and I love it?
No, they did a story called Faceplant, and and it's a show called Faceplant where you're talking, instead of for rags to riches, you're going from like riches to rags, like what, you know, you were up there and then what happened, and while they were filming it, you know, I was going through it. I was like, I think I need to leave, you know, I don't know where I'm going, you know, financially I'm not there, but yet I need to have another house. I need to go, and I don't, you know, so there was a lot going on, and I guess they're like, this child needs some help. But they also saw a potential story there where I can help other people.
Okay.
You know, because she is willing to tell all her tea. You know, nobody got to spill it for her. This chicken, she gonna tell it all. You know, well, they're older and white, so they probably don't talk like that. But still,
well, you never know. You never know.
I think that I don't know how they talk. So anyway. So they've been, we've always been in talks, and they were very kind and like, we want to tell you, you know, your story, and this is where it is, you know, your actual friends, and one and some YouTubers, and when I was mentioning people who didn't turn their back, I do want to mention there's Colleen Todrick.
Oh wow, okay.
And Candy Johnson, who was the
on the first episode.
Yes. So I mean, at 2:00 in the morning, I'm like, oh, and she was there. So there's some really great people, and I'm sure that somebody I'm gonna be like, can you mention this person? I forgot them, you know. But
you can always let me know. I can go back in, like I told you. We can add it in, and it'll just be like, and so, like it'll. Right. We just make it weird. Just throw it in the middle. I wanted to ask you, kind of going backwards, because you said that a lot of, I guess you said black people at the time didn't necessarily know you, but white people were like, we love her.
We love her.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like a pressure that you were fitting into a stereotype for white people?
Yes, I did feel that I was feeling it. Because and it was so funny because I feel like, well, I am on the cheesier side, you know. I'm just a goofier, lighter type of, and that's who's drawn to me. Now I happen to not. I feel like no one's threatened because, you know, she's just. I feel like they just consider me dark white. You know?
Dark white.
You know, like she can come to the company party. She's not down, you know, with the homies, you know, but you know, she's brown. And so watch, I get a note from this, like, do not say this, do not say that, do not ever talk to Elise lies again, because you got too comfortable, you know, white people talk like that, you know, so I'm just doing, this is my last interview right now.
I'm sorry.
Make sure you catch it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's my problem. Like when you got somebody who talk, they talk, they say everything, you know. So
that's why I love you. I love the openness and the honesty. Would you allow your daughter to do? Because, like, you know, a lot of people who have been famous wanted another way to make money is throw your kid out there.
Right.
Now the kid got a YouTube.
Girl, don't make me I'll bring her in. She will tap dance for you. What? She knows how to do it. I'm like, get it. Somebody famous. Oh my goodness. But she's got Start R, because if somebody's getting a lot of attention, she has left me plenty of times. Like the camera's over there, she just go over there. I'm like, Cedric don't know you. Cedric ain't begging for food for you. Like that, Cedric in the chat, and she's like,
you should, I mean, if
pictures of her, like she likes the limelight.
So, she does.
So she gonna get the limelight, and eventually, when she older, she'll be like, I'll take it from you. But right now, I'm just gonna get in the picture with you. I see the long-term plan. She for it. She already.
I like
she on her. She love her. You're like, you don't know her. The cameras like her. That's where I'm gonna be. Whoever gets the attention, that's where I'm going. And they stop. They're not flashing you, Mom. I'm not gonna be with you.
So she already know.
She ain't loyal. But she ain't loyal. This chick ain't loyal.
Every kid wants a YouTube. That's what I was like. That would be dope. You could have she could be GloZell Jr. So you just saw her.
It is the family business, so I don't have a problem with it. The only thing is that people do come up to her, like there's a safety issue where everybody already knows her. But my fans are very innocent, but you only take the one crazy person, but so that's it. So even though I can't afford the gated community, I'm still in here. And
you wouldn't push her away from doing this.
No, but I did 12 IVFs, in vitro fertilization, for her. So I told her she will have to become a doctor to get my money back. I'm just saying, You
owe me.
You owe me, test tube baby. You owe me, Frankenstein. I am getting this money back. This is why I'm in debt,
Kids expensive.
Especially when you have a surrogate and you get, there's a whole lot to it. So yes. And then guess what? While the whole time I was trying to have you for years, I wasn't paying attention to your daddy. Now he gone. I just ain't winging around here. But that's okay. I'm gonna be on a billboard and I'm on him. And you'll wake up and just be like, I'm gonna be on the billboard.
I'm telling you,
okay, a little petty's still there.
That's what I said. A little petty. Just sprinkle it on everything you do. Just a little bit every time. Like you said, you see me, and it ain't gonna do right by me.
Yes. I put green lipstick on her, send her with her dad, and just things like
the
that.
Memories of me will always be here. You will never get rid of me, ever. Never. Like Cardi said, never. So, GloZell, when does your show come on?
You can catch all the episodes on millionstories.com and also on GloZell, my channel. You will see that it'll take you right to Million Stories. It'll take you right to the GloZell Show, which is amazing. And of course, cash at me. And I'm there. I'm everywhere. I feel like I am the face now because of the time, because of COVID and all these lockdowns. There's a lot of people who are going from check to check to check to going to check to nothing. So I feel like now I'm not just talking for myself. There's a whole lot of people that are famous, that are not famous, that are in this situation that you won't know about.
Man, you were talking for the world. It's not just Hollywood. It's not just YouTube. You're talking for the world, especially now in COVID.
I need, Camille, Uncle Joe. We like, what's going on with y'all? I'm here. Talk to me. What are we supposed to do? Every month I'm in so much debt. Are y'all gonna expunge something? How do I get catch up? I don't even know how I would catch up at this point. And because of COVID, they can't kick you out. And I don't know how long that's gonna last. Because let's say I got $20,000. I'm so much in debt. That's, how do I catch up? And so I don't know how other people want to catch up. I have one child. Mm-hmm. How do people catch up with school and debt and in all whatever their situations is? And then people have illnesses and all kinds of stuff. And so I just want to say, you're not alone. I'm in it, and even though I might be looking cute because my weave is It was getting hot. I'm like, how long was this interview? Because it's
it was regular.
I just needed a break. Okay. All right. It was hot. So and I will not be editing this out. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Elise. Okay, so I hope to meet you. And we'll be like in Maryland.
Yeah, you gotta come to Maryland, or I'll meet you in DC, so we can corner off Obama, so we could both get shot by the Secret Service. And
I thought for sure, because they said do not touch that man. I'm like, I'm gonna touch this brother. I'm like, you gonna have to kill me up in the White House. I'm saying that low so they don't hear me. I'm like, they're gonna have to get me. They said we went through all this instructions. I was like, oh my God!
They probably was like
a cousin, a cousin that landed in a helicopter, but a cousin, and he's like, GloZell, can you let me go? And all I heard was like, my name. It took my all not to pee on myself. I was like, do not pee on president. I was about to die. Do you hear me?
He peed on Obama. Oh,
I was like, oh Lord, you don't know I got problems. So I was like,
that would have been a sight to see.
I was holding together. I'm telling you, I almost lost it. But he smelled good. He
looked like he smelled good. He looked like he smelled like dreams and hopes and
smelled like sandalwood and power, girl.
Woo, that's a good smell. A lot of men can't get that.
They can't. It don't work with their body chemistry. Like you tried it, you just sandalwood and stank. Like no.
It's just not working.
You're not. No. Mm-mm.
But I appreciate you. You can come back anytime you want. If you want to come back
Thank you.
Next week and the week after, you can do that.
I will be here. Well, I got nothing to do. I'm locked up.
We locked up like 8 months.
Ain't nothing to do. So what I'm gonna do? I'll be right here talking to you.
Come back. You got to come back. Make sure you go to her YouTube. She's still dropping hot fire on her YouTube and her show. She's going to help you learn financial stuff so you can get your life together.
We're going to learn together because I don't know what I'm doing. People like, you got a credit score? I'm like, where I get it? I don't know where I'm supposed to get it from. Can I get a discount on one? I don't know. Is 5 good? 8? I don't know.
Yeah. So we're going to learn. We're going to learn together.
We're going to learn together. Yes.
You learn, I learn, we learn together. We're going to get it together. So go to watch $1 Million Stories or her YouTube because she's GloZell everywhere. She's got one name like Prince. One. Beyonce.
GloZell with a capital Z in the middle. So GloZell, you can watch the GloZell Show on the GloZell channel on YouTube, millionstories.com. Follow me on all social media. I am there for you. And child, I'm on Clubhouse too. That's the newest one. And I don't know what I'm doing. So I'll be there and I can't figure out how to make the sound. So I'm just there. People listening to everything that's going on in my life. And I didn't think the mic was on. So,
You're entertaining. I can tell you, I'm gonna find a way to get on Clubhouse. I don't even have Apple. I'm gonna break in, hack it allegedly, and I'm gonna allegedly we're gonna get in there. But I appreciate